it will be on the web on the channel. You should see it on the channel now.
Could you please check?
Yeah, yeah.
Can you do something and everybody will hear?
Hi guys, we are streaming again now, and I will share the link in the comment in a bit.
Okay.
So. Okay, so there's a link to this new streaming is posted in a previous video, so we can do this part 2, I think. Sorry about the technical issues.
Under the previous video. Okay.
Yeah.
I got it.
So are we in again?
And yes, we are live again, streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then we can just start from where it broke. Maybe you don't have to repeat everything, Mari, but just say shortly about the Super Maria.
Yeah, I think we did it with the Super Maria. I think that was done.
Yeah, we can keep looking at the other works.
We can keep going a little bit and have some. I combined all the stuff with some works to wanted to have something in the context that I'm about now. So this is what I'm doing these days. So like the bigger black works, and it has to do with the stuff I told you at the beginning that I'm working about layers and hidden things, and it's called the conquest. So like what you see, it's that's occupying a field of black area, but it's not just that. So there's a painting behind us and there's dots, and it is more or less occupying what was there before. And so my new works are like, I see them a little bit as fragments of sort of an universe, so they could also unfold in any direction. So the worlds also, they reveal themselves. You don't know, and the process is really a big important part of what I'm doing now, and it is very different to what you see around, but it has the same roots.
Okay, let me ask you some questions.
Yeah, of course.
I see you looking at this big dark square with all those lots of white dots.
Mm.
And to me, it's very interesting when I move forward and backward that it is moving inside. Was that intended to you?
No, this is an optical effect what comes with the dots, right? And the thing is, this kind of works I do, it has a background that was painted before, and it seems to disappear with layers they follow, right? With this a darker color on top of it, and then the dots, they take your attention to this place. And it seems that what was there is not there anymore, but it's wrong. So I was thinking about what does it mean that things disappear in time, that things are overlaid by something else, like see that cities develop today, so that it goes layer by layer, and every layer you have a whole story and whole history is documented in that. And even you overpaint things, they are there. They are still there. They are part of the work. They are part of the piece. They are not gone away, but you can't see them anymore because they are occupied by something else, by patterns, by things, whatever is there that is the conquest in that case of white dots. Nothing. There are new patterns.
Oh, sorry. Every one of us has a small art historical knowledge, and I think most of us knew something about the Impressionists.
Mm-hmm.
They did dots, and when you go far away, so that they build something like a new picture, like every screen does it, we know. But in this case, it differs because
there's no connection.
It's no connection. It's building. It's moving. So it's interesting.
I mean, so in between the work, and there is no impressionistic attitude. They're not part of it. Not from my side. I noticed this, so I can't do anything against. But it has no content-wise connection to it. And this, I'm totally fascinated by patterns and layers and grids and forms, because that I can't calculate what comes out at the end, and they build their own texture and their own area at the end, right? So, but even also I've worked in the past with that pixelized things. There is no connection to impressionists or maybe to pointillism, whatever. It's just about the cube and pixel itself in that moment. It's finding my way to the smallest unit that things are built out of.
Marie, I mean, I also wanted to ask you something because it has a connection with that. I know that you're drawing a lot.
Yeah.
And what were for you the positive sides and the negative sides of exhibiting an analog media in that virtual space? Because exactly this is now what happens with that drawing. I mean, this is a drawing, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
of course it
and
is.
it has another effect.
Well, the thing is, I decided not to show my actual work because the kind of drawings I do, they are not also clear visible in that with that medium, and they would totally get lost because these are very fine line drawings, and you couldn't really see them. And stuff I had from early on, from 2017, that totally fits with the subject, and that means that the medium was influenced my decision of what I will show. So this is the first step, the first moment where things start to become a symbiotic unit a little bit, and I choose to deal with it works because they work all with squares, have a connection to a digital work, and they are really fine by content to go with an addition of themselves in a digital work. So you have to see, I see this thing and the works inside more or less as a unit. They are in a part where it's square-like this little instant everything. And I build up the architecture with the works I show, and I choose the works with the architecture, so it became sort of a unit somehow. And out of this, it was a super big pleasure for me to work on that structures around, because I wanted to have every view becoming its own picture. If you look at the west side or east side or north or south, whatever, or you look to the ceiling, whatever, I wanted to work as a picture of its own. And also the floor with the fire and ice underneath.
I found something else here I wanted to ask you about. Do you see where I am?
Yeah, where are you?
I'm under your glass floor.
Okay.
Oh, there's something here. It's a word, but I don't understand.
Yeah, this is a hidden. It's like a hidden song on a vinyl. So, talking about this that screen, right? Screen picture from the plane for. Yeah, I know what you mean. So this is a thing. I don't talk about the source, but it is.
Sorry, Marie, I have to interrupt you. We have to go there, and camera has to show it.
Yeah, I already got it on my camera.
I'm sorry, I think you can't fly through walls, Sarah. Come.
Oh, this guy, yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, this is a hidden work which I smuggled inside in behind this stone. So there's let's say it's an overlap of a game motive and also a real motive of an air fighter. So, and I keep myself in silence about the source, but there's a real fight situation or maneuver situation of a starfighter, and combine that with builds of the video game. And in that time, I was doing it. As I told you, I was into this digital realize overlap soon, and I hide it behind a stone. So it is like a song on a vinyl.
Yes.
Okay. I think we have to change the world and go to Momchil.
Yeah, let's do that.
I just have only one last question, in general, what was for you Quarantäne 13? Like, did you manage to have talks with other artists to chat, or was it really like
honestly not that much, because I was late the game. So I used to work about 4 days, so more or less the week last week I was in, and I didn't spend that much time in here communicating like the other ones. At the end I did, and above all I totally checked out the buildings of the other artists. It was so flashed and so, well, holy shit, that was so great to see that. And their architectures, they must have been done over weeks, so they were so complex and context, but there was such a great pleasure to see that and to find my way. The first times I got really lost in these worlds and I couldn't find my way out. Sometimes it was a great thing, and I was really nervous, but a little bit, I felt like a little puppy in between all these giant buildings, and I thought, oh, they really know how to do that stuff. And it was also a learning curve to deal with that things. And I learned about some people. I checked them out, what they do out of the Quarantäne art. And I know you guys, Mark, and you, Elena. I know what you are about, and it was interesting. And I really love to the experience that this kind of work, this virtual room, is not just showing art in a medium and try to be like a normal exhibition. This is totally too less for what it is, because this is a new medium for making art. And I'm thinking that because I had the experience that my work got so absorbed by the things that I built around, and from the opposite side the same, so that I think this is a medium to make new work. It's not a replacement for a gallery, right? So it's so much bigger, and it has so much opportunities to go on with that also in the future, and do projects, not just.
It's not also a game, and but I wanted to. By the way, I have to tell something about to viewers to our live about Quarantäne, our artist collective. Normally, we do something like being very close together for about 10 days, living and working and speaking and sleeping together and so on. So it is every time very close and very direct with lots of communication. And this time it is totally the other way around. Of course, you have some possibilities to connect with the others, but I think nearly nobody really talks to another one, and also they developed their own art location, and there was something like cooperation did not take place. So it's a very different situation to that time when we did exhibitions before. But whatever. Thank you very much, Marie.
Thank you for inviting me.
Let's change the world.
Let's change the world.
Let's go.
World to go to.
Word 2. We are going to word 2 now. Hello, Momchil.
Okay. I'm still not in. I see you are all there.
I already find Momchil and we are going there. Oh wow, we have the ghost mode. Momchil, can you say something?
Is the stream working right, Par?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah, so we, Momchil and I, we are already in the Word 2. We can just wait a little bit for you guys to come.
You know, I like the sentence. Let's change the world.
Yeah.
Because funny enough.
I wish we can do that in reality.
Okay, so there. Welcome to World 2. I wanted to say that I think for some of the people that we care a lot and to give advice, so it was very different experience. But anyway, I saw you. Are you coming? We're going to.
The lift is probably still loading.
No, I'm in and I will find you. No problem. Please.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
And again, to all our members of this live stream, I think in that time when we change the world, also our words will be transmitted on live stream or not?
Yes.
It is. I was like, people would see the change time.
Let's go to your work, Momchil.
Yep.
Oh, okay. You hear me? You hear me well, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You can tell us already something about you. Where you come from?
Yeah. Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Momchil Alexiev, and you know, this was this great experience that sort of had the opportunity to think on it. Yeah, just being stimulated. I'm from Bulgaria. I'm from Sofia. I studied in theater scenography. That's what I studied in the beginning. I studied in Italy, in Rome. I did 4 years in Sapienza University, where I studied theater scenography. And then I went a little bit into video and video projection. So really busy a lot with light and how how do they come together into the set design. And this went on for some 6 months, making a bit more video work, a bit more filming, a bit more directing, commercials, just blending. But yeah, the spatial aspect of it has always been there. So, you know, Eastern years I've been standing at the theater stage, projecting video, looking at the actors, thinking about the stories. It was this idea of combining video and space was slowly firm, and that's when started making a little bit more films and got into the Film Academy in Amsterdam, where I did my master's degree. But then I developed as well a project about virtual reality. And when I say virtual reality, I don't mean the instrument itself, but more about spatial filmmaking or spatial storytelling or immersive storytelling. So my concept was about the spectator, which is immersed into the film, into the story. I'm not sure if we're even supposed to call it a film. Sort of a different branch, a different room, house of storytelling, or whatever we call it.
On your website, I saw a sentence, and there was something like filmmaking and virtual reality. How different? How similar? And
Yeah.
how do you? Oh fuck! Sorry. It is.
How do I elaborate on this? You mean?
What?
How do I elaborate on this? What do I mean by this?
This was the first question, and also how your artwork or your participation in this project has a strong connection to this sentence, don't you think so?
Yeah, this sentence is connected to the. From at that point, I was coming from film, and I was staying in a film academy. You know, I was researching through film and trying to explain why the hell am I using virtual reality. So, a lot of the questions were, does this make sense? You know, the spatial filmmaking. What is the point to it? So I came up with a simple idea. Yeah, spatial filmmaking should exist, and because of these and these and these reasons. And to some extent, virtual reality and filmmaking are similar, but only to a certain extent. And there is a qualitatively different thing which makes virtual reality, something that is worthy, that has a unique semiotic, sense-making structure. It just cognitively works in this different way, and I proposed an idea. Why does it work? And I'm gonna very shortly say what it is, just not to leave you in the void of not.
Please,
no.
Please.
Yeah, so it's very, and then I'm gonna get into work. It's a very simple idea, and it is about the fact that when using virtual reality or spatial storytelling, or whatever virtual reality is going to become, because now it's just glasses. It's been a long time that it's around, so it's not about the glasses themselves or the word itself, but more about the principle. And the principle is the following: it's a different condition of being a spectator, and this spectator is an immersed one. And immersed one means that I'm not in front of a screen like everyone is right now, looking at their computer screens, but I put the glasses and I'm in the thing. Now, when I'm in the thing, a couple of things, two phenomena occur, cognitive phenomena, which are different. And one is I'm immersed. I'm somewhere else because I turn around and I see an image all around me. So my brain tells me I'm somewhere else. I know that I'm not actually in the film, but it feels like I am. So that's called a cognitive frame or a semiotic system.
So let's please let viewers know what is your definition about immersion.
Immersion ignites or engages our cognitive system away, so we feel that we are not an exterior spectator to the story, but we are an active participant, an element that without cannot be concluded, cannot fully exist. Okay, it's not that the film can go on by itself on the TV, and we can make our conclusions about it and so on. It's still an interactive experience. But when we are in the story, when we are in the film, we are much more of a co-author or whatever. Depends on but we are the element which concludes the film. A little bit like theater. Theater does not exist. You can have also only one spectator, but if you take out spectators, it's not theater anymore, right? So this is the idea of immersive and interactive storytelling. Which also, sorry, yeah.
What do you think? Who is more immersive, or in immersive illusion? The spectator of the live stream now that we are in the game, or the artists, or the visitors to the game?
Well, there is this thing of immersion. Immersion is not only a cognitive. I don't want to make the argument simpler, but it's not. It's something immersive can be also a story on the street, on the sidewalk. It's about how it works. What I was talking about is if something engages you, okay, it's great. But there is this cognitive element that if you look at the screen, of course there's a difference. You look at a live stream and someone is guiding your view. I imagine if you're in the mind test and you can look around yourself, this is a more engaging way to look around it. So I invite everyone to log in and to look around, because that's of course the point. So if you look at the screen and you can look around, it's great. And something that I noticed here, which is quite amazing, I still have to think about it. I do get the spatial feeling from this, and that's almost, how to say, to get the idea of a valley or a small room. You have the feeling. Isn't it really strange that you get it from a screen by walking around?
To me, it was the same experience in the beginning of the game. I've doing the flight mode, tried to fly out as far, and then it was not possible to, because lost. And to me, it was something like I really get the experience to be lost, but it's just a stupid game, just a virtual exhibition. But the feeling was inside me that I feel, oh, I'm lost. I cannot go home now because I don't know the direction. And also there were some visitors who were lost in some caves. It's ridiculous because, of course, you're sitting in front of your screen, but it gave you something like this illusion to have such emotion.
I mean, you exist in another reality. It is virtual exhibition. It was exactly as much important as when you are in the gallery making your own exhibition. I mean, you get lost and you cannot put your exhibition together anymore. You stay somewhere lost in the field.
Yeah, I also got lost on purpose, really. I just, went and I couldn't come back. It took me like, I don't know, what's a very long time, 5-7 minutes. But I thought it was like, how possible come back to a game? But it was really very much real.
Yes, but I think there is a difference, because we are not in something like an ego shooter game or something like this, which is very strange and which is very brutal with lots of blood or whatever. And we like mind tests, and also the avatars looking a little bit funny, and everything has something like a touch of being. So it is something like, to me, a very interesting contradiction. Don't you think?
Yeah, the way I read it was because I've worked with I did a few projects with kids in virtual reality, and also one project in a school with autism and virtual reality, and they loved the Minecraft platform. They're absolutely crazy about it, and I was always very curious. what it is about, this Minecraft. Okay, you have the cubes, you build the whole thing, you're in control. And I looked into it a couple of times, but when I got into Mind Test, I had this really, opportunity to think and to explore, to really see what this thing is about. And plus, it's a game. So I was, how to say, in the mind of autistic kids, and at the beginning, just wondering what to do with it, because it's so simple on one hand. You just have the cubes, different kinds of cubes, and you build with them. On the other hand, it's infinite.
Yes.
So for a long time, I would build something and destroy it, and for a few weeks, I would just stand there and build and destroy and wonder how should I, go about it, and what I concluded, what I thought was, interesting for me, was that I would perceive this platform of the Mind Text itself as the exhibition space. I mean, as the exhibition itself. So I didn't want to build, but rather just have fun. Really, that's what I assumed. Just having fun.
Is that?
Okay, another question. Please give me a number. What do you think? How many realities do we have in this game, or outside of the game, or whatever, which is connected this exhibition? What do you think? How many realities?
You know, it's I would say this plane of sense making in this game.
Display sense making. What does it mean?
It means that I see this world of the mind tech as my plastic to build a sculpture, and as a tool through which to think. That's why I've put some words around it, like walk around my thoughts. Well, little sentences, people wondering what does he mean. Just it's the reality of using the instrument as a tool through which to explore your own thoughts. You know?
So it's something like a game that go forward.
It goes. It's not about only the goal, but it's also through the making of it, I'm discovering what I actually mean, because
that's what I want to say. It's not in that direct way of interpret in that way. You are something in an immersive way, very deep in that game reality, and then during your existence in the game, you find out something about your concrete real reality.
Yeah, you know, there's a little bit of philosophical problem with this real word. Discussing what is real, this live stream.
You're right.
It will never end. So that's why when I talk about virtual reality, I talk about the cognitive frame and how it involves the spectator, and how does it change from the story. What does it change the connection between story and spectator? And that's why sense making, because we enter in this and we have this overly simple blocks, which in the same time are abstract. Just because they're super simple, they become an abstract way of expressing oneself. That was quite a stimulating.
Is it kind of your self-portrait? Because there is that sign down which says, one moment, something like, go around and look at my thoughts.
Yeah, it's like I invite you into my process of and making sense of myself in this as well.
Please welcome walk around my thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because this is because I didn't come with empty-handed, guys. I had an idea for this.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, I get a concept, and so it's related to building. It's related to the neighborhood I was in. I was looking. And the concept is.
If I compare it with the work of Marie, I think that your artwork is not a museum and also not a gallery. It's more which you can go in.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to use the platform itself as as the gallery, and the cubes as my work, as my artwork. So I wanted to create in the thing, and not import something, but sculpt thoughts. How to say? What is the right way to put it? But just
Yes, that's
So, by the way, just a total different question, perhaps to go out from this philosophical discussion. Do you see me? Please come to me, everybody. We see one of our artists did a graffiti inside your sculpture. What do you think about that? I think it's not from you, but from my street art crew.
yeah. I saw it and I liked it. Yeah.
Okay, so
someone tagged my my basement. It was great.
Mm-hmm. So it's no problem.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I liked it. But the first time I thought, did I do this?
Okay.
No, it's great. I would have enjoyed more.
Whatever, this is also something like, and that we are back in philosophical discussion, is something like another reality. Of course, we have no illegal underground street art group, but we try to fake it. So there is something like a funny interruption of the work from the other by doing a small graffiti on the wall. Whatever. This is not work.
Let's go up,
Okay. We follow Elena.
or we follow Momchil, maybe. Show us around.
Do we fly or do we walk?
Whoever can fly. We can also walk. Show us your thought.
I have made it in a way that you can walk all over the thing, and you can fly around it. And I was really making it so that I like it when I fly around it. Really, is that pathetic about it? But the walking around, I've planted some ideas that you can find. Some are a bit hidden, some are more visible. And here I was following the idea of the human as a building. It just came to me this when I was looking at the buildings and starting to sculpt these heads or these parts, the body. And I was thinking of the human as a building. You build a building. There's a building that's empty. It starts growing and it starts being inhabited and fills in with sense, connections, content, engineered inside, and so on. So to follow this a bit abstract idea, and therefore not only one here. Yeah, different. You can just really walk around all of them. And what I did as well is I didn't use all the cubes. I limit myself to 4 elements.
Mm-hmm.
And that's white, stairs, the green, the
Gray.
The green, and some light.
See, in the beginning, you told us that you have something like a concept, and of course we believe you. But I think your building itself, it is not made by a concept. I think how you draw the lines with the stairs, I think it's something like intuition, or don't you think so?
Well, how to say? I didn't want to follow. I wanted also to rebel against my. So when I came up with the concept, I'll be like, okay, that's an idea, but let's just follow in fact my thoughts and my feelings, and I've also tried to place some a bit more poetic. I don't want to use this word, but a bit more poetic things around the further edges of it, and I didn't want to build, in that sense. I just wanted to see where it leads me, and think as I'm doing it. Don't think before that, but think while, maybe change something after.
It's like if you develop a concept while you're doing something. This is also a concept, and at the end, it looks like you you developed it.
That's what I mean. I had the starting point of the human as a building, but I really wanted to use this as a tool to look at myself. There's a little bit of a mirror for myself as well, and that's what I offer to the viewer. That's why I walk around my thought, walk around my process of thinking as well into this, and there's kind of I see this as a virtual mirror. It's not the real mirror where you see other things like, but this virtual cubes, mirror out of cubes.
Yeah. I ask one more general question because I thought about quarantine, like because of the virus. A lot of artists started doing in virtual spaces. I mean, exactly like us, 4 of the Quarantäne members, we are mostly analog, and suddenly we developed the whole exhibition, which is in virtual space. Do you think that's positive, kind of, or maybe not choosing one or other side? What do you think about that? Is it getting too crowded in the virtual space, or is it helping for making it more popular? I don't know if it's a stupid question. I just thought about it.
Yeah, I think it's a great question. It's how to put it. It's always been crowded in virtual space. What do we make out of it? And honestly, about this dichotomy between virtual and analog, I've been thinking a lot about it, and I mean, mainly I don't know, but on the other hand, there is in some way there is no difference. I don't know how to explain it well, but yeah, it's funny when you say I'm explaining, but I don't know how to explain it.
But now it's every time the same thing, because to me it's the question that I think I don't really understand what we did with this exhibition.
But that's a great result, isn't it? I think that's a great result.
Yes, yes, of course. But I'm not getting a clear view about our work with this mind test based virtual exhibition, and so my thoughts are always circling around. I don't know what is reality. Is it inside? Is it outside? Or is it go forward and go back? Or are there 3 or 4 or 5 realities? So it's
that's what you meant. That's what you meant. I understand now when you ask me about this. I think the question is one of the main questions is, why do we use the word virtual exhibition? Because it's not. It's right here in front of me. It's just online.
And now we are discussion again.
You're right.
Yeah, but it's yes. That's why I wanted to make it something that you open and look at and fly around and explore. and not how to say, make a frame into the other frame, make a building within the frame. The problem.
Yes, this is every time the same problem to me when I try to tell something about the exhibition at all and what does it make with me. I'm starting to stottern. Was heißt stottern auf Englisch? The words are gone, you know. But however, I think.
Yeah,
But
when you
what-
cannot. Yeah.
What do you mean by the words are gone? You mean there's not, you cannot come to a concrete.
It's a problem for me to find the correct word because I did not understand it correctly. I have no solution about that. I cannot write down a text and say it is like this, like this, like this. I can try to do it, but in all, I cannot grab it, you know?
That's because it's virtual.
What
No,
a picture.
no.
Okay.
Sorry for this.
Maybe we shouldn't get lost in the philosophical thing. So
Yes, but
I don't know how we can talk about it alone. So let's keep. Maybe if you want to tell something more, if we should have a look something inside or out, and then.
Now, I think it's this piece is about not flying but walking around once and finding, making up an experience and an opinion about it and fly around it. And I wrote a small text. And it's really philosophical, but I don't think there is bad. This is bad.
No, it's not.
And it's a very conceptual. That's what I mean. It's so simple. The cubes are so simple, and it's so gamified art that it becomes like almost automatically conceptual art.
Automatically, it doesn't matter what you're doing.
No, I'm saying this is like let's say it leads you to it. Of course, then, not you can whatever you do, you change how something. But it's my first time, and that's how I saw it as a great opportunity to work with and to use this as a tool to expand, because I think even with small works, even with small not small thing, it totally. I mean, there are so many things to say about it. It really expands the notion of virtual exhibition or online exhibition, or how do we want to put it? A non-physical exhibition, maybe.
To me, the most interesting difference is to other kinds of virtual exhibition is based on that game. This is a real difference. Perhaps if you think about going through the cave of Stone Age paintings, there is something like a virtual guidance. You can go at your left, and this wants to show you I call it normal reality by virtual, and we are in a game. And but whatever, this is only about Momchil. I really like to thank you about, of course, also about those philosophical stuff, because it helps us to understand the thing that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for being part of it.
Wonderful experience. wonderful idea. Thanks again.
Okay, I think now it's time to say goodbye. What do you think, Elena?
Yes, I agree. Do we go to the medical or do we just say goodbye here?
I think we can say goodbye here.
Okay.
But
Okay, everyone.
wait a moment. I think we have to tell the viewers what they can get next times. What do you know? I think we will do more artist talk.
Yes. The plan is still not exact with dates and times, but you have to follow. You can follow us in Facebook or look on our website. There we post everyday new information. We are still talking which artists went into the artist talks, also when Park into the streaming, so I can't tell now exact hours, but please follow us in Facebook and you will get all the news.
Yeah, I will put the link to. I already put the link to the Facebook page of Quarantine Artists Collective in the description. So
Yes.
yeah, if you'd like to know
Thank
more
you.
future events, please just click and subscribe and check it out.
And please write comments. Okay, then it's
Okay.
time to say goodbye. Bye, everybody. Thank you for viewing this, and see you next day.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Bye.
much. It was very fun. Bye.
Bye.